Good morning. Welcome back to Winning Law. I'm attorney David Nguyen with offices in Houston, Texas. I was not planning to make a video today, but if you just woke up and you read the news, you may be surprised to learn that Donald Trump actually won the United States presidential election. Today, I'm going to discuss what this means for the immigrant community as a whole. Whether you are a foreign national in the United States or abroad, you should expect a lot of major changes heading your way. I'm going to cover today the top 10 changes that the prior Trump administration made during the Donald Trump's presidency. Most likely, when Donald Trump takes presidency again, his administration will re-implement all of the changes that he made during his prior term. The first major change that the prior Trump administration made was that they stopped allowing new applications under the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, otherwise known as DACA. This meant that children who are taken to the United States, most often against their will, could not apply to remain in the United States after they graduated from high school. Currently, the program's legality is being argued in the court systems. However, when Trump is back in office, he or his administration is most likely going to continue denying new DACA applications and make it harder for DACA applicants to travel abroad. And he may even end the program, which will not only hurt foreign nationals that qualify for the program, but also foreign nationals that are currently relying on the program to work and live in the United States lawfully. The second major change that the prior Trump administration made was ending the Temporary Protected Status program, otherwise known as TPS, for at least 6 countries. TPS allows foreign nationals that come to the US and later find out that their own country is experiencing armed conflict, natural disasters, or other extraordinary conditions that make it unsafe for them to return. So with this program, it allows them to remain in the US temporarily until the situation has solved itself. The TPS program allows these foreign nationals to apply for work authorization, temporary travel authorization. But if you're currently on TPS, most likely when Trump is back in office, he will not agree to extend your TPS eligibility for your particular country. The third major change the prior Trump administration made was increasing the asylum backlog by failing to provide necessary government funds to hire workers that could actually process asylum cases, but also denying asylum applications for very frivolous things such as blank spaces. It wasn't that long ago when the government would routinely deny asylum applications if a foreign national forgot to put NA or not applicable on certain sections on their application. Once Trump returns to the White House, you can expect that if you're applying for a new asylum case, your case is likely going to get rejected for very minor mistakes. Also, if you have already filed for asylum, you can expect even longer wait times now for an interview. The fourth major change that the prior Trump administration made was making it harder for someone to naturalize, and it made it more difficult. He did this in 2 ways. First, his administration made the U.S. history and civic portions of the naturalization exam more difficult by adding an additional 28 questions. Not only this, but also his administration presumed that if a person had more than one DUI or DWI, they were ineligible for naturalization. So if you are waiting to apply for naturalization because you find memorizing those U.S. history or civic questions very difficult, you may want to go ahead and hurry up and apply now, because when Trump is back in office, most likely he's going to add back those 28 questions that he previously added and were later removed by President Biden. The fifth major change that the prior Trump administration made was creating the Muslim ban. Trump basically said that if you have family members in a Muslim majority country, such as Nigeria, Eritrea, Sudan, Tanzania, Kyrgyzstan, or Myanmar, they couldn't come to the United States indefinitely. If you are a US citizen or a green card holder and you have family members that live in a Muslim majority country, even if they are not Muslim, you may find it more difficult to bring them to the United States when Trump is back in office. Trump has actually already released a statement stating that he plans on reinstating his Muslim ban. The sixth major change that the prior Trump administration made was refusing to process refugee applications for individuals that are persecuted in their home country. The prior Trump administration blocked refugees and travelers with passports from various countries such as Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen. This act was cruel, inhumane, and violated international law. Yet, Donald Trump did it. It is not going to be a surprise to see him doing something like this again when he's back in office. The seventh major change that the prior Trump administration made was trying to end the military parole in place program. So if a foreign national entered the United States without inspection or overstayed their visa, but they have an immediate family member, such as a spouse, parent, or child that was or is in the US military, they may qualify for a program known as Military Parole in Place, which would allow them to obtain a green card without having to leave the country. Previously, Trump tried to end this program before, and this time he may actually be successful. The eighth major change that the prior Trump administration made was stripping immigration judges of their power to dismiss or terminate court proceedings. This meant that if a foreign national was in immigration proceedings, but they qualified for immigration relief, the judge was unable to dismiss or terminate the proceedings. Instead, the foreign national would be forced to apply for immigration relief within the court system, which is generally more expensive, more difficult, and more time-consuming. Once Trump is back in office, it is very likely that he's going to strip immigration judges of their decision-making power again. The ninth major change that the prior Trump administration made was making it more difficult for US citizens or lawful permanent residents to sponsor their loved ones legally. In 2019, Trump introduced the new public charge rules, which place additional burdens on the legal family-based immigrant petition program. The new rules required US citizen or green card holders to submit a lot of unnecessary forms with their green card applications, such as 12 months of bank statements, credit card statements, credit reports, credit scores, their school diplomas, their school transcripts, the list goes on and on. Although the Biden administration did away with the public charge rules, you can bet that when Trump returns to office, he's going to likely reinstate the 2019 public charge rules. The last and major change the prior Trump administration made was referring to everybody, to immigration and customs enforcement equally. So for example, if you enter the country lawfully or unlawfully, ICE usually looks to see whether or not you have a criminal history or you are a risk for national security before trying to place you in removal or deportation proceedings. However, under the Trump administration, he didn't care whether or not you overstayed for a day, overstayed for 10 years, gainfully employed, had children, etc. He treated all foreign nationals the same way as a criminal. So he would refer everybody to immigration court. Once Trump returns to office, you can bet that if you file an immigration case and it gets denied for whatever reason, such as you missed the biometrics appointment because you didn't receive the notice, or maybe you overslept and you missed the green card interview, or maybe you applied and you didn't know what to submit. Whatever the reason is, it doesn't matter, because if the case gets denied, most likely the Trump administration will immediately refer your case to ICE for removal proceedings. This is going to make a lot of people hesitant to apply. I know this video is kind of sad, but it's the truth of what you should expect in the next 4 years. I anticipate very big and bad things happening. So my word of advice to you is that if you qualify for an immigration benefit, such as you are married to a US citizen or a green card holder, you have a relative that was in the US military, you qualify for Biden's Parole in Place program, you qualify for the I-601A or the I-601A inadmissibility waiver, or you qualify for citizenship, I recommend that you hire an experienced immigration attorney and file your case as soon as possible. This way, there are no hiccups with your case. If your case cannot be approved while President Biden is in office, you will find out the hard way. Your case will experience long delays or complications. Are you worried about the Trump administration? Let us know in the comments what your fears are. Again, this is Winning Law, and thanks for watching.
At David Nguyen's Law Office, we are here to help you. We bring families together through immigration. And on the other hand, we help you find solutions. All your legal needs in the hands of people who care, who are there for you. We'll take care of your loved ones at the law office of David Nguyen.